few games about so I mean Chebebre because Monse Bebre can't feel. The highlight of it is going to be some crucial games here between Liverpool and Eintracht Frankfurt. Then they about share a Real Madrid and Juventus game this year. Anyhow, a bit more influence or more confident is going into the El Clasico against FC Barcelona. I actually believe with the Liverpool game now Ancelotti according to Mobi. Now Uti Ancelotti in common now he's trying to talk about the fact teams on my ball in the last 4 games coming into this game against Eintracht Frankfurt no. Omuni na mfa ball into for mombo na mombo no soro nkwa.
Run to me.
Na mom de enti omutimi share Eintracht Frankfurt ni nyina gina se ball na mo de to form na omutimi press Eintracht Frankfurt for ni omoye de e boy. Yaw anka bone enhye da ni that particular statement ni ene ehun komo. But it clearly shows the idea of Obiti say and slot in terms of the way opposite teams are approaching Liverpool near Mobo. He said, you know, about our city mono. And definitely it has caught him off guard. You know, all complaining, baby, Casa Bibre, because we are going into the weekend game against Brentford. So, with that Casa come away, that means Brentford for more dream him said the obesity about game against you. Last season, I our shaman for a bopon game, no one can say tactics, much opponent systems, or the boy, or no use to need the editing or resource. I think you should stop talking or Casado when it comes to tactics and approaches in games. And you should work on bringing out the best of players now, Matiska, Kesiako form, with your Maba team to get results. Yeah. You should start getting the best out of these guys. Because Okofa Alexander Isak for that huge amount of money, Florian Vet, that huge amount of money. Then over here Milos Kekes, then over here Jeremy Frimpong. The amount of money Liverpool spent in the transfer market, it's important to understand. Say, the results never. It is easier to get to the top, but how to maintain yourself at the top is the difficult thing. So you might have won the league with Liverpool, you've gotten to the top. Now you need to stay there. Guardiola by England. In the first season, Obia can say me the chance and our tactics and our system where they won't survive here. Now he found a way to get to the top, and he found a way to maintain himself at the top by being so adapted to different styles and strategies, including this season how Manchester City is playing. So if Ancelotti wants to be successful with this Liverpool team, it's all about getting results, adapting, and making sure that the players know mobile and they'll get the best out of them. And I think the first step of it taking is to be bench Mohamed Salah. Now Salah the anyway your poor match will be as Salah could delete Liverpool free.
So 2 consecutive away games in the Champions League. Na Salah or bench. Something one waka cry because Salah has always proven to be the key player for Liverpool. Free time will be PMO Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp. The number of goals are all share. And it's an by out. I did minimum about life. You see, Salah didn't away and the people might have issues with it. Now Salah is selfish. A bimokre attacking on Salah or by a support to do some radio. We buy only your mobile for you. It's very difficult in this life to get it to a certain level. Being status. Being that's all. Me see okay. Macron official X handle and. On time posty. Normally we post crana with no caption. Yana pictures. The last time we posted 5 days ago, no bar AXA training. The school quadam my own Egypt now we are qualification celebration pictures. Or Liverpool the Ensum. That was on the 20th of September.
Yeah.
Ensum.
On the backdrop now, not using any way, Nika Kirby now, or deleting no beer, cocoa pie, na Salah, food, na Salah, and person best at a whole lot of issues. But I think, say, for Mohamed Salah, the issue no with Liverpool, the entire from 2 different angles. One, accepting the fact that now he's not going to be the main man at Liverpool. Number 2, the close relationship with Obiti said Diego Yota. Anyhow, a be influence the attitude going into games. Yeah, Yan Krana ye tia brabo imu krana so obi free unchen krana ni panoni ni ye close na ulusuna. Yeah, wane to be a hard dream. And maybe catch us say Jurgen Klopp made a statement say and nam Salah so no mokoto Diego Yota de ne buy. Now you an interview or can a class and nam Salah so Salah push your mom for Jota. Now Jota comes to Liverpool. When you have good seasons, last season, now me catch you say one player no important. They Liverpool, Diego Jota. No free bench, baby. Either he scores or he assists. Now in his absence, we see Mohamed Salah be feely a ben ya.
True.
A be affecting the emotions.
More affect to more clearly, not Salah.
Salah share ni dimina or back games more on chaya. Imagine the dressing room only Diego Jota they were almost it. Then far away from that, or adapted to a new crop of players up front. Now in the absence of Obi to say Luis Diaz, Sadio Mane Koyache, Darwin Nunez is gone. Now he needs to adapt to Florian Wirtz. He needs to adapt to Hugo Ekitike. He needs to adapt to a lot of players within the setup. And in the absence of Alexander Trent-Arnold.
I know.
George Bremwell say.
I mean, that for me, I know a very serious idea. I said Liverpool for here because with Trent Alexander-Arnold, the style of attacking will be very different from Jeremy Frimpong.
Yes.
And the actual idea cost on say we share Trent Alexander-Arnold. I will born to say he was able to watch the movement of Mohamed Salah. Could do ho and Sana Mohamed Salah bedu. Or bet chain no was share Mohamed Salah movements and no possible no. The opposite is Jeremy Frimpong. Jeremy Frimpong be taking on players. It will be do na Salah Mae because Salah is growing. Salah is not as fast
as before.
The intricate analysis now what the team in terms of the way they play. Losing Diego Jota, you mentioned it. Darwin Nunez, you mentioned Luis Diaz. Now these players, they understood Mohamed Salah name movement in the BBR. So I agree, say the emotional partner, but more importantly, the play of Liverpool has changed.
Yes.
Having Arnold as your right back, and okay, Liverpool were all the attacks were going through Arnold, and now having Jeremy Frimpong means that they have to adapt, and adapting means you've got to learn more about the king rather than the king learning about you. As you see, I'm under pressure now to Mohamed Salah to say, "Oh no, he's the problem." When the team has to learn, and I work in critical areas like I think like what's happening up front in terms of the attack, and also I hear very different from what they played last season versus what they are doing this season, and also hear very different. So in all fairness, Liverpool needs some time, but they don't have to destroy the whole set that they have got. But now they have to learn about how Mohamed Salah will be able to adapt. Messi his speed is the same, but teams, he's lucky that teams that work on him, they've been able to adapt to him. Because if you get Mohamed Salah to be happy and playing, obviously goes amount.
Yes.
But what they are doing now is interesting. Say, Mohamed Salah not tonight and say you are the problem.
Yeah.
And I win. And Mohamed Salah is that a very emotional player, so he can totally shut down. And I think this was the reason why the contract negotiations the way
to me.
I mean, we didn't expect Obi Bewu or we didn't expect all of those things, but at least Liverpool thought that we can get an extra year or extra 2 years to bargain over it and so let him go. But the dynamics of the team at the moment is what everybody must look at. So Mohamed Salah needs the backing of and a slot to a certain extent. At the same time, the players need to understand that we have to get our best man playing, because the potential best men is here. They are now coming in. Ekitike, Isaac, Vets. They are now adapting, learning. We don't know how long it's going to take them. Mohamed Salah knows the Premier League, so a very interesting one. I don't know how they're going to settle it, but if they don't do it, most teams will have a way. And anyway, match nominate Frankfurt boy, and I think in terms of, and no disrespect to Frankfurt, but they won't be getting a lot of games like that in the English Premier League. So you want to even put that game aside.
Okay, let's say Liverpool question Frankfurt 5-1, all right.
Yeah, right.
But opponent of Premier League,
there was a lot of space for them to operate, and you don't get that.
Brentford and from
Mousa. There'll be a lot of pressure on you. And I also go for your analysis. They know what to do at the moment.
Yes.
So you're holding Salah off, making it very tough in the midfield, and it's going to be interesting. But I think Liverpool are seminal. I think
need to find a way to get the best out of that.
Because the beginning of the season, even though they were winning games, and I was saying they were winning, but they were winning just by the skin of their teeth, and you could see. So
it's become very difficult for them. Then Enra quickly, Real Madrid against Juventus.
To be Mr. George Ado Jr. BBC man.
BBC man.
So you may come on later on the show.
BBC man. BBC man.
I'm a friend of BBC man.
The BBC man. He has always been with us. I was a free days in he's always been with us.
2015 back our boys. I'm saying Mekai or Bekai, mas Mekan story or Bekai. So Bekai is 2015 somewhere. that I said not joy still.
Yeah, joy.
When you call me from a boss and the say problem with sound or more.
Yes. Yes. Was it Afcon? Was it Afcon? Yeah. Now one track on. Oh, you're brutal.
Yeah, the level of experience and knowledge they give you. Talk.
Oh, yeah.
But you see, Real Madrid need Juventus there. No, there are 3 talking points. One, the importance of Thibaut Courtois in this team. I think he's the GOAT of goalkeepers as it stands. The level of quality or the Madrid Real Madrid team, you know, I won't even deny. And now about 35 minutes to 36 minutes. Now Real Madrid are more shot on target. But now Juventus are shot on target by 3. Ninjina no na a close range at Thibaut Courtois. But Dusan Vlahovic. Ye bo pass bi to Muma on Eda Militao. Omo ko no ba bia Thibaut Courtois position itself. Eye ne nice style bi di yi ball. Ball ne far post ne so no. Yeah, that ball ne torneta a bit assistant the different dynamics of the game. Yeah. Because now pick it up in the game. Nothing more adapted to Juventus, almost style of playing a lot of things. Now, in this context, we are having this discussion. Say Real Madrid and Messi, Toni Kroos, Real Madrid and Messi, Luka Modric, Benzema, Munich, free team. It looks like the last man standing with enough experience, Thibaut Courtois. You need him to save you in games. In the absence of Cristiano Ronaldo, Nipo Jiahin Chene share Karim Benzema. Now, on also Beboko and Nipo Jiahin Chene share Vinicius Junior. There was no talk of the likes of Courtois. Now Vinicius Junior form no IABB or kakra because Alonso Aba last season so Kylian Mbappe. Benetibu Courtois beji adene so de esi na so bi said there be bia na the pressure na to momo so. And Real Madrid pressure na beto bi so a e was nipa a ono ne ye kɔ ne ye ya henche ne de ahye ne wo say pressure ne to no kon so. But Thibaut Courtois has come into the discussion right on time to say there be pressure no wo Vinicius Mosododo. Pressure no Mbappe Mosododo. If they fail to deliver, I also need to step up. He is the sole reason why Real Madrid won Champions League against Liverpool. Sabo be Sadio Mane boy or then say he na bonepi. He wins games for Real Madrid. Or G game ne jebo. And even weekend game on Bebo against Barcelona, they will need him to step up if they want to win that particular game. Because Real Madrid backline, I think they'll be praying in Heiss and Ebetono, no back for the El Clasico. Wama so shebeba because Raul Asensio no trust and shed anyone who's a the booty me phone who crack to no could train trebi ni kwan so na kofa bibi o diaba. Number 2, I think Juventus will issue power or team ni me also motion or deal with it. And the biggest of them comes with how or money be pay Marotta and tempted ya or koe. Italian clubs, Tembiano, Omuni say Omo club is not only run by CEOs and coaches, but the importance of sporting directors omu team nim. Because people Marotta call Inter Milan, I say Shebrena Danny Street. Said na Juventus, you almost some dominant force
or the ideas
or the BBA comma Inter. So look at the kind of players they are signing, the kind of coaches they are appointing. Nefanto to Juventus coaches are more appointed. Thiago Motta about I go to do. It looks like succession plan in Sheda anyone. Then the signings they do in terms of players or Moba. And they've lost their identity. Identity near day. And Caberanca Italian players can dominate with Juventus near AC Milan. But then they internal crowd with Italian players more than Juventus. And they need to get back to their roots as soon as possible. How do you tell me Kenan Yildiz is captain of Juventus as it stands? Yeah, and no more game the room rebi no referee Ajibobi obi mra Kenan Yildiz. Yeah, so in the dressing room, Marco na ye team talk. Gatti, Locatelli, Pierre Kalulu, Vlahovic. Was a Kenan Yildiz your captain on team talk? Yeah. You see, there are certain things that because Kenan Yildiz, no Juventus in Real Madrid, you expect the big boys to do the talking in the dressing room.
Yes.
Maybe I call first half. Charlie Bon, your money because Real Madrid dressing room when they go there, and Obi to say Kylian Mbappe Kasa, he's tested and proven. At the age of 18 years, no World Cup. He's the captain of the French national team. Now there's Jude Bellingham or character. There's Thibaut Courtois.
You've seen it all.
Danny Kabaya Kra Mobi Kra now no Kra see bad dressing room no more. You see top players. Now what could Juventus dressing room? You be team talk got to nyina to near the captain someone about Kenan Yildiz. Eddie Pana Beka.
Vlahovic
so Eddie Pana Beka. Then what are you going to say?
Go show him.
Young question. Oh, young.
I would be able to show him.
Young question. We will be able to show. Then you look at Omo who AC Milan. Now AC Milan in the dressing room will look at Modric. So if things get tough for AC Milan in that dressing room, there is Luka Modric.
And on Rafael Leao Kano last weekend say, Nanije say when you be just a Modric because when they go and get stuff, who will be a Ocho say
that is it.
Modric apart from maybe a World Cup and other castle, but even the 2018 they now cast Mbappe Kraje and probably a Croatia. Modric do so the Champions League Ballon d'Or. So Modric no one say on winning I just say on Rafael Leao, Leao so and the vice versa. So all that experience of dressing room. But
Juve where Inter. Now there's a Akanji Anoglu. We're captain the Turkish national team. He's a leader. We're both team nature. There's Henrik Mkhitaryan.
Lautaro Martinez.
There's Lautaro Martinez.
World Cup winner. There's Francesco Acerbi.
Yeah. Share the storyline. Maybe you free buy and they will be real into the setup. There is Damien.
Matteo.
It is her boys no more. And there is Jan Soma. It is a Juventus are in here. Maybe on Madrid almost say almost sake I go to don't will solve the problem. But over Sakina Manako in prem muno ubenya resource. Ube we need 1 or 2 games or 3 games. But what dream future no one Juventus future near quite blare. And on dominance in the Bayira. Ebayira.
Dominancy, I think so, yeah. But one of the key things are it's a team in need leadership. One of the key things I will say won't say a ball match, maybe a team need lead by 1-0. You bet me one strained decision these days because of the bones in the BBR Danny. In Zusha Juventus season start here, even scoring goals was a problem. Both draws upon draws. When you don't have leadership in a team, it's difficult to take the team beyond the next level. I take it to the next level at least. It's with me about draws behind. Starting about draws behind 5. Now for yes, and see, I think that for Juventus, a leadership issue, is something that they really need to try and sort out. Would I normally a coaching or say that because that's normally the first thing you do. I know the coach. And teams are more competing against. AC Milan are coming up really nicely. Inter Milan are there. Napoli are there, and Juventus only will be everybody gives an opportunity because once you play against Juventus, you have an opportunity to do something. But their main pet about Juventus is that the momentum swings too quickly because of the lack of leadership and the lack of real character in that team. It's a warrior. Me who game a master game, a power game, from beginning to end. There's always 10 minutes be a bit me a game, or 15 minutes be a open it a bit to me a and that's old lady by 1 goal to the 1-1, and I say so. It's just a Chelsea once a month. I mean, those are the teams of money leadership. You see a lot of things happening, and sometimes to a large extent, you don't expect the coach to do everything. The coach needs a good leader. Because many players are
okay.
Players good pitch and so sometimes coach need no, what did be sir?
Oh yes. What did they stance in the morning? Yeah.
Now, I mean, you are down by 2-0. You both didn't crown it. Make Champions League final. Juventus versus Real Madrid, Cardiff. I was there.
2017.
I was there. That's a game first half now 1-1. Yeah. Mandzukic nice goal.
Yeah, good, yeah.
And in a space of about 20 minutes,
game.
I was very close. And right back your friend saying, was it Sandro? You boni di onti. So at the point I'm saying, the coach was screaming, but that's the pressure of the game. So anything we hear leader which is not patient so. He will talk to you. He will organize when he has organized. The coach is in there. So if a coach doesn't have a good leader, it doesn't work out. And I think that's one of the main issues that Juventus have now. And our players, since most of them are now, like I said, they almost need a lot of time to get in there. And I don't think the big boys in the team are happy.
I go to
Well, Michael Owahene, a champion, say, hey, Georgia the Junior, so you are so fluent in Asante Trisa, and you were at Joy, always speaking English as if you can't even pronounce matching.
Then it means that you didn't follow me well at Joy. Because when you say at Joy, I was telling a lot of people, even though I had different characters, because the way I'm here at Joy FM was different from Hits FM and was different from Asempa.
That's right.
So Asempa now me here key study.
Yeah.
So she know her. Some of me Asante.
Correct. Let me say,
I was a George the any or more. You can't pursue school upon a before Umpy and Kobe. You can be a book.
Yes,
coach in sports club.
Yes.
Right after Chelsea and
I think for Chelsea, one thing I'm happy about is the humbling of a player like Alejandro Garnacho. You see, boy, na or rubber beer, Nambis Roman future, Manchester United. Nane ego no bro ne level no so. Or ego bi woni mu say wadru. And you need good coaches to tame such players to bring the best out of them. Adina Maresca Garnacho no. He wants to do something with him for Akolani to be humbled. No, work it towards becoming better. Because potential we can't allow it to go waste. Garnacho potential no, we can't allow it to go waste. The only thing we can use to help him is to let him understand the level, calm down, work on himself and push. Now I do the gettings. My gettings form. You calm down. I think that is one thing Maresca ba Chelsea or any right. Uwo ego said he will find a way to let you understand your level and bring you down. Then what on say, then one who be you need to start from and where you have to finish. No matter who you are. Also change said you calm down. For him to build you up and help push you is a very important. And I think in the absence of these guys, watch 5-1. Now against Nottingham Forest, you will free Muna how many goals in the second half? Or the net or the other hand side. Now in your absence, almost 5. So meaning is in the setup, you are not the most important player. And you can never be the most important player because there are enough quality within the setup. Or complementing every single person to get the resource. So this is where I believe Chelsea are getting it right. Bit by bit. Magi Zuba and Wabesha goes in the Obeko bench. Someone else will come in. Someone else will come in.
Not to me.
And I'm happy for players like Tarek George. Picking points in Kakranaka. But what is happening to Ayas?
After Rick Ten Hag.
after Rick Ten Hag. It's literally frustrating. Because me who say omo build the rank back movie no omo ne koye no omunya any proper replacement bia for Mumai. And I think they are not appointing the right coaches too. Because Farioli in the bar totally different crowd to whatever Ayas are doing in terms of more projects in your style.
Oh, bottle league after how many points difference?
No more than 8 points to
with 6 matches to 19 points difference.
19 points difference.
Wow. But what Portos win a resource?
Portos win a resource. Football na bibi o to be antiase na nya adwuma.
Run to me.
Dream ma bebre hu anya adwuma, but it takes the little things to make it click, which I believe say Ayas is a project side. Omo tete nkola na never goes na boy Ayas 9. Yeah.
So there's a bit of I think that like there's a bit of confusion, and that is when, because we are traditional clubs in America, BBT said Dortmund, Ajax, I've been very close to them. When you touch the philosophy, then the club is in trouble. It is a philosophy is about building quality, I am building quality. But when you are caught between a PC winning league and a building quality who are fit to win league, because Ejuma golden generation here they cost semi-final. I think they've been expecting too much from the subsequent generation. That's why they've been tampering a lot with the coaches. I don't think it's a bomb.
Yeah, true.
I'm saying we switch bro for my coaches in back or no your own Holland and some number UK and one teach no. Until we be saying English more or no because Osambo Academy. Osambo Ajax Academy, no, and he's very averse with all the things that happen there. Say, you be son or no, bet me a chero. Why Ajax, yes, sir, because Abrabo no more born and saying there. And yeah, Brabo, I bet to me a dear baby.